another series in the conversation with the mermaid. I'm Mark, it's the wife Kylie. We got divorced, and then we were married again to continue on with the question series.
Oh, from the last one.
Yeah, that's right. Or whatever order you're watching this, and none of this makes any sense anyway. Um, the primary piece of gear you need to be in the water. We know the tail is the cosmetic skin. I guess the skin is the stuff.
Tail skin.
Tail skin. What is it you gotta have?
You gotta have a monofin.
A monofin, and which is what?
It's a big fin. So instead of your flipper fins that go on each feet that people swim with when you're doing snorkeling and scuba diving that most are familiar with, it's a monofin. So both feet go into one fin, and then it's fanned out. So it's like your fishtail. So you've got to have your monofin to be able to swim in the water like a mermaid.
All right. Now I'm gonna. We know this from personal experience. The monofin, selecting a monofin, there's a primary consideration to be made. And there's lots of out on the market out there, and yeah, by all means, you suit to whatever you see fit to have. But some have a flexible base to them. It's kind of like just where you're sliding your feet under the monofin, your feet held in place by this bit of a flexible bit of material. And the other ones are fixed and rigid, where you slide and almost get buckled in. Which one's better?
Definitely the fixed and get buckled in. You don't want the monofins that slip on kind of like socks, and they look comfortable and they're an easy sell because of that, I think, but they just do not give you the tight fit to your feet that you need in order to have control of the monofin. If your feet aren't really attached in there and they're just pushing on a board that's unattached, it's okay maybe if your feet are pushing down, but whenever you try to pull that back up, you've just got this stretchy material that your feet are pushing with, and you're going to have that resistance in between, and it's not going to respond the same way as a monofin that's attached to your feet would respond as your feet do. So it'll go up and down as your feet are, instead of trying to depend upon a stretchy material in between to bring it up and down.
And I think that was key. I mean, that's very key. What you said about the fin will not respond to your command, what your body motion is. And there's I know in free diving, there's some people who put in $400 or $500 for the proper kind of carbon filament fins to do what needs to be done, because to move efficiently through the water, you've got to have good gear. Fortunately, monofins do not necessarily, it doesn't mean you're priced out of it. I mean, you can get a good monofin for 80.
I think even less than that, $50, $60. I think Linden or Leiden, I'm not sure.
You're just saying steer away from the give material, because that's more cosmetic than it is functional.
Those are easy to find, and a lot of the little girls are advertised as getting those fins for whatever reason, and maybe it's fine for play, but once they get in the water, they might have a harder time responding. You might have more successful mermaids, even as little girls, if they get those fixed ones on their feet, so they can really have control of that when they're swimming in the water. It's not so much cosmetic to just be able to fill up your tail skin and be able to take pictures with it. It's functional too in the water.
Okay, so I think that's a big key. So even before you had the tail skin, proper selection of a monofin.
Yes.
And they don't have to be high. There's some very expensive monofins.
Very expensive.
But they don't have to be.
They do.
One other question on that monofin thing. To train as a mermaid, you don't always have to have the skin. The monofin is fine.
Yeah, the monofin's fine. The tail skin's just an extra bonus to make it look good or cosmetically, but you can do just the monofin, and you don't have to have your tail skin.
There you go.